Okay, so I've added a few more things. The first thing you'll notice is in this editor view mode, this big giant Death Star looking thing in the middle here. I've added planet and I've added some orbital mechanics, gravity and so forth. So now uh, you get thrown around the game a little bit by the mass of this big orb in the center, which will later be turned into a nice looking planet. But for now, it's just a sphere that looks like a sphere. And we can get some pretty cool looking orbits going. And I added a little line renderer so that you could actually see where your trajectory is and kind of help get a sense of your velocity relative to, or I should say, independent of your facing, because obviously 0G, there's no forwards or backwards really unless you're adding force in that direction. So like right now, still traveling the same direction I am, even though I'm rotated around 180 degrees. And we can do a retro burn, slow down, change trajectory. Let's go back in and see if we can get on a smaller orbit. Nope, I'm just going to go right through the center. So I chose to kind of not make it super realistic in terms of the planet is not really in play. Its mass is there, but it's just kind of decorative as far as the actual the model of it. Because if you had a big uh, sphere taking up a good chunk of the play area in the middle and it was constantly pulling you in, I feel like you would just spend most of the game just bouncing off of it, and it would be kind of silly and not very fun. So I'm going to play with it like it is. It's set, on the in well in this world the y-axis, what most people might think of as z-axis. It's set back, off from the play area plane, and yeah, and oh, I think I added this since the last update as well. You can now see in the bottom left-hand corner there um, says pilot and gunner. I can switch roles without having to switch controllers now, so that I can do some shooting, and then I can switch and do some piloting. And going to add more and more responsibilities to each role, so that actually makes sense to not have everything just be on one controller. But for now, it's just a good way to test it. Like we can have one pilot or one player per ship and still be able to kind of control everything, or you could have two players per one ship and have them basically have an assigned role and not do any switching. And then later probably add more roles like engineer, um, and then maybe a fourth one. I'm not sure what yet, but just so that to kind of throw the some chaos into the mix. So if you're two players on one ship, you have to kind of juggle the role and the role assignments to be able to effectively operate the ship. And we'll see if that's fun. If it's not, I'll take it out and make it more of just an action-oriented, shoot 'em up kind of thing. But if the role switching and role management and kind of getting into more Star Trek style ship management is fun, then I'll elaborate on it. And playtesting will tell all. Which I think I'm almost to a place where I could get in front of a TV with friends and see if this thing is fun to play or not. But oh yeah, and the camera does stuff now, as you can see. It's not perfect and it's a little jittery. I think that's what's kind of introducing the jitters that you might notice. But at least it's zooming in and out, and the ships don't just fly off screen anymore, making me have to restart the game every time. Um, the last kind of thing to add until I move on to some other stuff would be some kind of a hard limit for how far away you can get. So like if we fly really far out from this planet, the camera will continue to zoom, but then eventually just kind of skid right off the map, and that, and not sure how to solve that from a game design standpoint. I'm gonna play. I've got a couple ideas I'm gonna play around with, but I mean, for now, I think I'm just gonna move on and not worry about it. Come back to it. Maybe I'll have a brilliant idea later. But yeah, that's about it for now.